Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something that, well, sounds pretty simple, but can genuinely shift how you experience life. We're talking about gratitude journaling, and specifically, we'll explore how you can easily make this a part of your routine using Chosen, which is an AI audio journaling app.
Yeah, it's so easy to just get, swept up in the day-to-day, the rush.
Totally.
And what's great about focusing on this today is that it offers a way to consciously, deliberately turn your attention to the good stuff. And using something like Chosen, especially audio journaling, can make it feel less like another thing on the to-do list.
Right, less like a chore.
Exactly. More like just a natural moment of reflection.
And it's definitely not about papering over the hard things or ignoring challenges. It's more about actively inviting more joy into your life. Brené Brown's work really hit this home for me, all those years of research.
Oh, yeah. Her work on joy and vulnerability is fantastic.
Yeah. She found that the really joyful people she studied, they weren't just grateful because good things happened to them. It was the other way around. They actively practiced gratitude. And that practice seemed to actually cultivate the joy. She even talks about her family having this nightly ritual, sharing gratitudes.
And that's the key word, isn't it? Practice.
Yeah.
It's something you do. It's active, not just a passive feeling that washes over you sometimes. So in this deep dive, we'll get into some of the frameworks, like why does this even work? We'll hear some real stories, and then we'll really get practical about how you can use audio journaling, specifically with Chosen, to build this practice yourself.
Okay, sounds right. Let's start with those frameworks. Why does focusing on gratitude actually work?
Well, a good starting point comes from Autumn Gallegos at the University of Rochester Medical Center. She defines it pretty simply. It's the practice of focusing our attention on positive outcomes in our life.
Okay.
And also on the source of those positive outcomes. Where did that good thing come from?
Right, not just I'm happy, but I'm happy because this person did this or because this happened.
Exactly. And the research suggests that doing this consistently doesn't matter exactly how you do it, but doing it has these lasting positive effects on your overall well-being.
And Brené Brown's research really backs that up, doesn't it? That idea of consistency and practice.
It really does.
Yeah.
Across, 12 years of research, thousands of pieces of data.
Yeah, 11,000 pieces of data, I think. It's incredible.
And the finding was just so clear. Every single person she interviewed who identified as truly joyful, actively practiced gratitude, no exceptions.
Wow.
Yeah. She initially thought, like you said, that joy leads to gratitude. You feel good, so you feel thankful.
Seems logical.
It does. But her data flipped it.
Yeah.
It strongly suggested that consciously practicing gratitude is what cultivates the joy. It opens the door for it.
Okay, so it's not just a nice feeling, it's doing something active. What about what's happening in our brains when we do this? Is there science behind it?
Oh, absolutely. This is where it gets really fascinating. Several sources touched on this. Therapy, in a nutshell, for example, mentioned the neurochemical side. Practicing gratitude can actually trigger the release of serotonin and dopamine.
Ah, the brain's feel-good chemicals. Makes sense, like a little reward hit for noticing the good.
Kinda, yeah. It reinforces the behavior, and it goes deeper structurally. Research shows it activates parts of the brain, like the hippocampus and the amygdala.
Okay, refresh my memory on those.
Sure. So think of the hippocampus as being heavily involved in memory, especially emotional memory. And the amygdala is like your emotional processing center, your threat detector.
Right.
Gratitude seems to help these areas regulate emotion more effectively. It fosters feelings of, safety, calm, even abundance, as one source put it.
So it actually helps calm down that sort of fight or flight response.
It seems to contribute to that, yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the prefrontal cortex gets involved too. That's the part of the brain that helps with decision-making, complex thought, and managing negative emotions, like tamping down anger or fear.
So practicing gratitude is like giving your brain a workout for emotional regulation.
That's a great way to put it. It's engaging these key networks. It's not just a fleeting thought. It's actively shaping brain function related to well-being.
And Brown called it an observable practice, right? Tangible things people do.
Exactly. It's not just internal. She mentioned things we often hear about, like keeping a gratitude journal.
Like we're talking about with Chosen.
Precisely. Or even simpler things, like making a point to just say something you're grateful for out loud at a certain time each day, like her family ritual.
This ties into another concept that came up of the Rick Hanson's idea of taking in the good.
Ah, yes, that's a powerful one. From Greater Good and Big Think. Hanson talks a lot about the brain's negativity bias.
Which is our tendency to focus more on the bad stuff, like one criticism outweighs 10 compliments.
You got it. It's a survival mechanism, probably. Our ancestors needed to pay close attention to threats. But in modern life, it means we often overlook or quickly forget positive experiences.
So taking in the good is the antidote to that bias.
Exactly. It's about actively looking for positive facts.
Yeah.
And then deliberately turning them into positive experiences that you savor.
Okay, how do you actually do that? He had steps, right?
Yeah, 3 basic steps. First, you actively notice positive facts. Little things, big things. A sunny day, a nice interaction, finishing a task. Don't just let them fly by. Turn your attention to them.
So awareness first, step 1.
Step 1. Step 2 is to really savor that positive experience. Don't just notice it and move on. Stay with the good feeling for, say, 5, 10, even 20 seconds.
Let it soak in a bit.
Right. Hanson explains that the longer something is held in awareness and the more emotionally stimulating it is, the stronger the neural trace it leaves. You're basically strengthening the wiring for positivity.
Okay, that makes sense. Notice it, then savor it. What's step 3?
Step 3 is to sense it sinking into you. Really feel it. Imagine it being absorbed into your body, becoming a part of you.
Like internalizing it.
Exactly. This active internalization helps convert that fleeting positive state into a more lasting positive trait. It helps rewire that negativity bias over time.
It's really practical. Notice, savor, absorb.
And building on that idea of lasting impact, there was mention of some really cutting-edge, almost mind-blowing research in psychology today, suggesting that gratitude might even influence something called cellular memory.
Cellular memory. What does that even mean? Like, our cells remember things.
Sort of. It connects to epigenetics. The idea is that our experiences, our interactions with the world, can leave biochemical marks on our DNA, affecting how our genes are expressed without changing the DNA sequence itself.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the thinking is maybe, just maybe, consistently practicing gratitude, these positive interactions and feelings, could create epigenetic pathways that support emotional and maybe even physical healing over the long term.
So our positive thoughts and feelings could literally be recorded in our biology.
That's the emerging idea, like a biological record of our positive experiences. It's still early research, but fascinating to think about the potential depth of gratitude's impact.
Definitely mind-blowing. But, okay, we also need to be careful here, right? It's not about pretending everything's perfect. There was a warning about toxic positivity.
Yes, absolutely crucial point. Several sources, like Shift Collab and Pure Health Center, brought this up.
So what's the difference? Genuine gratitude versus toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity is essentially forcing positive vibes and denying or dismissing anything negative. It's that good vibes only mentality pushed too far, where there's no room for sadness, anger, or struggle.
Right, like telling someone who's grieving to just be grateful for what they had, which isn't helpful.
Exactly, it's invalidating. Genuine gratitude, on the other hand, can coexist with difficult emotions. It acknowledges the whole picture. You can be struggling and still find small things to be genuinely thankful for.
So it's not about replacing negative feelings with positive ones.
Not at all. It's about authenticity. Acknowledging the full spectrum of your emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Gratitude then becomes a tool to perhaps shift your perspective, find a little light, but not to ignore the shadows.
Okay, so be honest with yourself. Feel what you feel, and use gratitude as a compliment, not a cover-up.
Precisely. It should feel authentic to you, not forced.
That distinction feels really important.
Oh.
Okay, let's make this even more real. What about some stories, some examples of this in action?
Yeah, the stories really bring it to life. We already mentioned Brené Brown's family doing the nightly gratitude share.
Right.
And the examples she gave were great because they were so real, like her son being thankful for bugs one day, or for understanding adjectives another day,
Right.
or being picked up early from school. It shows how gratitude can be found in the everyday, sometimes funny little things.
And it shows how kids see the world, what matters to them in that moment.
Totally. And then there was the more pregnant example of her older daughter, her 8th grader. After a friend's mother passed away, her gratitude shifted.
Yes.
She started focusing much more on the health of her family. Really basic, fundamental things suddenly came into sharp focus for her. It shows how gratitude can change based on our experiences and what we value.
Wow, yeah. That contrast makes things really clear sometimes.
Then there was that lovely example from Daily Good about the family in Vancouver with the gratitude jars.
Oh, I like that one. Tell us about it.
Well, the idea is simple. They keep a jar, and whenever something good happens or they feel grateful, they put some spare change into the jar.
So it's like a physical reminder, a little ritual.
Exactly. It connects the feeling to a physical act, but then the extra layer is that when the jar gets full, they don't spend the money on themselves.
What do they do?
They donate it to a local charity or someone in need.
Oh, that's wonderful. So it connects personal gratitude with giving back to the community.
Yeah, it makes gratitude not just an internal feeling, but something that flows outward too. A really nice, tangible practice for a family.
That's a great idea. And there was one more example about writing letters.
Ah, yes. Nancy Davis Coe's experience, mentioned in Mindful. She undertook this project of writing 50 thank you letters over the course of a year.
50 letters? That's quite a commitment.
It is, but she found it had a profound effect. Not only did it obviously make the recipients feel good, but it significantly boosted her own positive emotions.
Interesting. So the act of expressing it outward benefited her directly.
Yes, and she also felt it made her more resilient, better able to cope with challenges that came up during that year. It seemed to strengthen her emotional foundation.
That really underlines the practice aspect again. Deliberately focusing and expressing gratitude has real, measurable effects.
Definitely. It's not just wishful thinking.
Okay, so we've got the why, the brain science, the warnings about toxic positivity, and some inspiring stories. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How can people listening use audio journaling, specifically with Chosen, to build their own gratitude practice?
Right, let's make it super practical. Chosen is great for this because speaking is often easier and more natural than writing for many people.
True. Less pressure than staring at a blank page.
Exactly. So, first step, build consistency. Try to establish a regular time for it. Maybe 5 minutes in the morning to start your day on a positive note.
Or maybe in the evening, reflecting back, like Jim Quick suggests for memory.
Yeah, evening reflection works really well too. Find what fits your routine. The key is making it a habit. Even if it's short, just talking into Chosen for a few minutes each day.
Okay, establish a time. What next? When you're actually recording, what should you focus on?
Be specific. This came up in the research too. Don't just say, I'm grateful for my family.
Go deeper.
Yeah, say why. I'm grateful for my sister because she called just to check in today and made me feel really supported. Or I'm grateful for the sunshine this morning because my walk felt so much brighter. Record those details in Chosen.
The what and the why. That makes the feeling more concrete.
Definitely. And tied to that is focusing on depth over breadth. You don't need a huge list.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Pick 1 or 2 things from your day and really elaborate on them in your Chosen entry. How did it feel? Why did it matter? That's often more powerful than rattling off 10 superficial things.
Good tip. What else?
Get personal. Focus on people. The research suggests gratitude directed towards people and their actions has a particularly strong impact.
So think about who you're grateful for, not just what you're grateful for.
Right. Who helped you today? Who showed you kindness? Who made you laugh? Acknowledge them, even if it's just in your private Chosen recording.
Okay. Another interesting one was about remembering the bad times. How does that fit in?
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But reflecting on past difficulties or challenges you've overcome can actually amplify your gratitude for where you are now.
Ah, the contrast effect again.
Exactly. So in your Chosen journal, you might occasionally reflect, wow, I remember when X was so difficult and I'm so grateful I made it through and things are better now in Y way. It provides perspective.
That makes sense. What about making the recordings themselves more engaging?
Use sensory details. When you're talking about something you're grateful for in Chosen, describe it fully. What did you see, hear, smell, taste, feel?
Bring the memory to life with senses.
Yeah. I'm grateful for that amazing coffee this morning. The smell when it was brewing, the warmth of the mug, the rich taste. It makes the memory and the gratitude more vivid when you listen back later.
That sounds like a great way to enhance the savoring part we talked about earlier.
It really does. And you can also give yourself some structure with questions. Adapt those prompts from Mindful for your audio journal.
Like asking yourself.
Maybe end your day by asking into your Chosen recorder. Okay, what good things did I receive today? What did I give or contribute? And what challenges did I navigate or overcome?
Answering those questions seems like a really good way to scan your day for moments of gratitude or resilience.
It guides your reflection. Another idea is to use Chosen kind of like that end-of-day memory review. Mentally scan your day, then pick out 2 or 3 specific moments and record your gratitude for them in Chosen.
Like capturing little snapshots of positivity.
Precisely. And think of your Chosen journal as like your digital audio gratitude jar.
Ah, like the Vancouver family, but audio.
Yeah. Each day, you verbally place your gratitudes into Chosen. It's your personal, easily accessible record of the good stuff.
And you can connect this directly to Hanson's taking in the good, too, right?
Absolutely. When you have a positive experience during the day, maybe take just 30 seconds afterward to pull out your phone, open Chosen, and quickly record what happened and how it felt.
So you capture it in the moment, helping it sink in.
Exactly. That act of verbalizing and recording reinforces the savoring and absorbing steps.
And the huge benefit of using an audio journal like Chosen is, you can listen back.
That's a big one. Feeling down, having a tough day. Go back and listen to some of your past gratitude entries in Chosen. It can be a powerful reminder of the good in your life and genuinely boost your optimism, like a personal positivity playlist.
That's a fantastic feature. Okay, so wrapping this up, it feels like the main takeaway is that gratitude isn't just some passive, nice-to-have feeling.
No, it's really an active practice, something you can cultivate intentionally.
And doing so can genuinely lead to more joy, better overall well-being, and it seems like it even positively impacts our brains on a physical level.
Absolutely. The science and the stories really point in that direction. It's quite powerful.
And tools like Chosen make building that practice really accessible. Using audio journaling just removes a lot of the friction.
It does. Speaking your thoughts often feels more natural, more immediate than writing. Chosen makes it easy to capture those moments consistently.
So we definitely encourage you, if you're listening, to explore this for yourself. See what happens when you start intentionally noticing and appreciating the good.
And Chosen is a great way to start that journey.
You can actually try Chosen completely free. Just call the toll-free number, 888-576-5669.
That's 888-576-5669, or you can remember it as 888-JRNLNLW. Same number, 888-576-5669. Give it a call.
So as we end this deep dive, maybe just take a second right now. What's one small good thing, anything at all, that you can notice and maybe appreciate in this very moment or in the next few minutes? Something to think about.